Hello, crafty friends. Thank you so much for being here and welcome to what I think is episode 5 of Crafty Tuesday. My name is Alicia, but as always, you can call me Crafty Owl. I'm so glad to see everybody over there chatting. I did just want to take a second before I get started. Elisa, I don't know if you're still here, but my heart and virtual hugs are going out to you today and in the coming months and years. Unfortunately, I have been there, and I just hope for strength and peace for you and your family and your friends. If you are here with us live, please make sure to say where you're watching from over there in the chat. And if you're watching on replay, welcome. I'm so glad you're taking the time to watch it. Make sure to leave your comments below and leave the hashtag in there, hashtag replay. I did have another comment I wanted to showcase before I get too much into it. Paula said, we had snow Sunday and yesterday. Oh, so much for an early spring. Right? Here in Nebraska, which I saw somebody else was from Nebraska. Welcome. I thought we were in spring, you guys. It was like beautiful 60s, 70s. We even got to 80. And now the last, 2-3 days, it's literally been freezing. So I've been staying in the house again. Let us know what the weather is like in your neck of the woods. And if you haven't been here for a Crafty Tuesday, what I want to do is, I guess, not force myself, because you know I love to craft, but I want to make myself get out some of those items that I've only used once, maybe I've never used, and use them to make at least 2 new projects. And I hope that you'll be inspired to do the same with some of the items from your stash that might be a little bit less loved. Before we get started, I did want to point out the banner that is scrolling on the screen, but now I have stopped it. When I get into crafting, it is hard for me to keep up with the chat because you guys are so awesome over there. So if you need my attention specifically, like you have a question about something you're seeing here on my work desk or what I'm using, either tag me by starting to type in @callmecraftyowl, and then it will pop up my name that you can click on, or type Alicia or Crafty Owl or question in all caps in front of that message. And that way, when I do have time to look up, those will be there. Those will be like the ones I try to get to first. All right. It just helps me see them because you guys are a chatty crew and I love it. I love that you're sharing with each other and chatting. Don't forget, you can always answer each other's questions if you know something. Many of you here are knowledgeable and have been to many of my lives. Speaking of many of you, welcome to my channel members. Their names are highlighted in a color and have a little logo next to it. Thank you so much for your continued support. I don't know if everybody knew, but my channel members, not only do they keep me creating here on YouTube and a sheetload of cards free for all subscribers, but they also allow me to put in less mid-roll ads in my videos. Thank you so much. If you are a channel member, go ahead and put CM over there in the chat. I did have a couple things I wanted to show you before I get started, just so we give people some time to get in. I did see that somebody already mentioned that she liked my rainbow cards. So I have a video up on the Tailored Expressions channel today. They have a new Sunshine and Rainbows release. And these are the cards that I showed you how to make. I actually just made one of the rainbows. I made 5 different card fronts and turned it into these 6 cards. So I hope that when you're done here, you'll go check it out. I do have a link down in the description box below. And I also have a link to the new release. It is an affiliate link. So if you don't know what an affiliate link is, it is a link where if you shop through it, I get a small percentage of your sale. It doesn't cost you anything extra, but it gives me a good idea that you're liking what I'm using. And if I see you guys like gravitating toward one company more or one item, then maybe I can showcase that more. One more thing I want to share with you, and I think I saw Amalia in the chat. So over the weekend, if you didn't know it, I got together with my crafty friends Toby and Amalia for a sheetload live. Now, this sheetload already made lots of cards, 12, but over the weekend, inspired by Beth of Bourbon Creek Crafts, I put out a free alternative cutting guide that, guys, oh, no, that's not it. Sorry, that wasn't exciting. I don't know where it's at, you guys. No, here it is. Oh, my goodness. I think I was showing it right away. Sorry. No, the original one showed you how to make 12 cards. Well, I put out an alternative printable while we were doing that live to show you how to use your pattern paper to get 15 cards. Now, there is a special note that your papers do need to be non-directional. Kristen loved a sheet load live, and there is Amalia. Yes. All right. So the Sorry, I meant to click off and then clicked on a different message. I do that all the time. The set that I made on the live were these cute little ladybug cards. And I told you how I downloaded the ladybug and used my silhouette to die cut those. I downloaded it from Creative Fabrica. And then the sentiment, hey lady, that was actually one I created, and I will be getting that ready as a bonus printable for channel members. So channel members, keep an eye out on that community tab. All right. Let's see if we got any. Oh, I see maybe somebody. Jennifer Cup. Let me see if I can find your message. Here we go. Jennifer Cup says it's her first live. Welcome, Jennifer. I am so glad that you are here. If it is your first live as well, put a 1 over in the chat box so we can all say hi to you. All right. Catherine has a question before we get started. Catherine says, what size did you make the ladybugs for the cards? I think I made them, I think it was 1.5 inches wide. Let me see here. Yep, 1.5 inches wide. So if you go to that video, you can download that file. And yeah, you have to scale it all together to 1.5 inches. And then I took it apart. Welcome. Julie is new. Or no, Julie, she isn't new because she's been a channel member for at least 6 months. But this is her first live. Welcome. So glad you're here. Love it. All right, guys. I say we go ahead and we get ready. So let me prep my work surface with what I will be using today. I probably should have got out the example, but you know. So I mentioned it in the promos, but during Stamp Joy, we did some weaving. They sent the piece already cut, and I saw that it was an old product for Tailored Expressions. So I bought my sister and I one right away because I knew people were going to love this and probably sell TE out. Well, guess what? These are out of stock. I do have a link in the description box below to this product if you want to go and put in your email address to notify you when it's back in stock. Because after today, if you don't have something like this, you might want to get it. Also down in the description box, I have a link to, I think it's a Hero Arts one. Sorry, I can't remember. It's Hero Arts or My Favorite Things. But it is a weaving plate. It's a little bit different, but I bet it works the same. So you could always check that out as well. But I'm going to be making 2 cards today with this. One I have already kind of pre-prepped, and that's the one we'll start with. And then, you know how I love to use color cube cards and let you guys help me decide the colors. For the second card, we will be voting live on which color combo I use, and then I will use that weaving die once again. So I did go ahead and get some stuff ready ahead of time. So I will be using a silver weaving piece today for my card, my first card. And I cut this out of a silver kind of thick pattern paper. So what I did is I also added a copy of just white cardstock on the back just to make it a little more sturdy while I do my weaving. And then from a project that I made yesterday that you'll actually see tomorrow, which maybe at the end of the live, I can show you the card a little ahead of time. I had these pattern paper scraps left over. And it's kind of like a watercolorish background, and then it has silver foil splatters on it. So I thought that would be fun. So weaving this is super easy. But first, you know what I want to do? I want to get my pattern, my pieces laid out here. And I am going to actually use 2 of the silver strips that were like cutaways from when I did my frame, and I'm going to weave those in the middle. With the weaving, you can do whatever patterns that you want. You can change the size of your strips. I just left mine. I think they're all a ½ inch. Linda says, is there a discount code for the color cubes? I wished, Linda. I do have an affiliate link for them, but that is the only affiliation I have. I would love it if I had a discount code for you. I do know that if you buy them, I think one box is 40, and if you buy both, it's 67. So there's a little bit of savings if you purchase both of them. You can also get digital versions that are cheaper, I believe, if you just want to be able to use it on screen and have a little bit lower cost. All right, to do the weaving. I haven't tried this exactly yet, where anything filled the height of my weaving plate. So we're going to cross our fingers, but I'm going to start at the bottom with this kind of a reddish color. And it doesn't matter if you start here over or under, but you just have to reverse that each time. When you have your strip through there, you can just push it down to the end of the opening. And then I'm just going to go to my next one. And this one we started over. So this one means we need to go under. And if you do the weaving up here, it goes a little bit easier because you have like some more wiggle room between these. But as we fill it up, that will get tighter. And then you just keep going. Let me know if you have ever done any paper weaving over in the chat. Type in weaving. And then let us know if you used a die or if you just use strips for your vertical and your horizontal pieces. Now, before I put in the silver center ones, I want to go ahead and do the ones that go above it. So I need to think here. This would go over, under, over. So this blue is going to start over. This is just, I'm doing this because these strips are a little bit thinner. And I don't know if I'll have as easy time kind of pushing those through. Okay. See some people weaving strips with a newspaper without a weaving tool. Awesome. Okay, so it looks like a few of you have tried it. You just haven't had a die, which, yes, I am sure a long time ago I did it with just the strips too. All right. Now I need to move these down a little bit because I didn't leave very much room for my red. And again, as it gets more full, you might have to help your piece here a little bit. I'm just pushing on the silver piece just up and down, not so much, you know, trying to feed my pattern paper in and out. Catherine wants to know, what is the size of the die weaving piece? Let me tell you. I know I measured it yesterday, but I don't want to be wrong. So the outside is like 4. Then I'm going to guess 5 1/4. Yep, 4 by 5 1/4. So it's going to, if you put this just straight onto your card front, it will leave a little bit of a border. All right, so once I have that in place, I'm going to push all these up. And now let's try to weave these through. Now it's not going to fill this perfectly or completely, but that is okay. Weaving isn't usually super tight that you can't see through it. But later I might just adjust these strips just so there's kind of even spacing between it. And hopefully I did this correctly. Yeah, see, this gets a little trickier, but it's still not too bad. Okay. So that is how quickly you can have a card front weaved. We did it right there. Be right back, guys. All right, now what we're going to do is take some liquid glue after I kind of get them spaced out just a little bit. And where, for now, since the front is facing up, I'm going to put adhesive on behind the strips that started over. Just a little bit here, just a little strip. Press it down for 5 seconds and then just keep going. Just since it is a metallic cardstock, I want to make sure that it stays in place, which don't be like me and put too much glue down. It did smoosh out a little bit to the frame. And even though the Barely Art glue does dry clear, when you have it on something like a foil, it does show after it dries. So just be careful with that if you use silver. And I forgot to ask if you do enjoy, oh, I forgot to, sorry. I'm going to talk serious here, get my face on camera. If you are enjoying today's stream, I hope that you'll give it your stamp of approval. And here, that is just what I call giving the video a thumbs up, sharing it with a friend, taking the time to watch it, maybe even leave a comment below. I do have 65 of you on here right now and only 24 thumbs up. So can we get that up to 50 maybe? Let's try it. All right. No, I'll go back overhead so you can watch me continue this. Well, I see we have a new card maker. Welcome, Betty. She says good morning. She's new at card making and enjoys it so much. I think we do here too. I am looking in what is the basic tools to start making cards. I love watching the videos. Thank you for the great ideas. I am sure that over in that chat, everybody can give you some ideas of what they think you could get started with. Really, a paper trimmer, a basic set of stamps, and some ink. Well, I guess you need cardstock, but you can start with as little as you want. You know, make sure that you really like it before you invest like some of us have and then end up with a whole room of stuff. Thank you, Susan and Kristen, for your stamps of approval. If you're new to Crafty Tuesday, I give away one of the cards that I make at the end if you're here with me live. So if you like one of my paper weaving cards and you would like it sent to you, make sure to stick around. Hello to my friend Danny. And yes, it does become a little bit of an addiction. I'm trying to make use of what I have instead of just buying, but it is so hard. This part's a little tedious. And, you know, if you were going to just trim off the ends and cover up the frame, you probably wouldn't even need to do this. But I just want to make sure everything is staying in place where it should. And then once you have the front done, just flip it over and add glue to the back. Maybe we could take a little poll here since we have a new crafter. Put in the chat how many years you have been making cards. Let's just stick to making cards just so we can get an idea. I was probably 20 when my sister showed me heat embossing and stamping. So I'm at about 27 years. Well, not quite. April 11th, I'm at 27 years. Sorry. No, that's right. Sorry, I forgot how old I was. No. Yes, April 11th, 27 years. Awesome. This is fun to see. Susan, 44, Amalia, 24, Elisa's newer at 1 year. Love seeing those numbers come in. Thank you for playing along. All right, now that is all done. So I'm going to trim off the excess. I had shared, oops, let me hide that. I had shared, I don't know, maybe a month ago that I bought a set of nonstick scissors on Amazon, and I wasn't ready yet to kind of like be like, yes, get them. But I got 3 large nonstick scissors for I think less than $10. And at this point I'm saying yes, it was a good purchase. Because I have the little ones, but then sometimes you just need a pair of large nonstick scissors. Oh, Angie, are we newborn at card making? So glad that you're here now. And I'm just trying my best to go right along that frame. And I'm sorry if the silver is totally annoying in the camera and the lighting. Oops. All right. So here is our finished weaving piece. Now we need to get it on a card base, which I'm going to just keep this simple for today, just so we can get to 2 cards, because you know, sometimes we're here for hours on a Tuesday, so I'll try to simplify something if I can. And I'm just going to put it on a white card base I already had in my stash. You could definitely use a colored cardstock. And this will go flat down. I like to turn my card upside down, get it to where I can see these 3 sides to see if they're even, and then lightly let it fall to see if it's centered. And if it is, then I press it down. Catherine said that would be so pretty as an Easter basket. Agreed. With Easter coming up, you could definitely turn this into a basket. And the one that I do later, I'm probably not going to fill up the entire area. So if you're going to do a basket, you know, you could kind of do the weaving just at the bottom and leave the top open for something else. So for my sentiment, I recently got this from Crafty Meraki to share with you on my channel, and I've made some cards with it, but I just wanted a basic sentiment to put on here. I did pre-cut everything. It is, let me show you here. It is a 3-layer high. So I cut the word itself out of the blue silvery paper that I made, that I used here. It is the darker portion of this paper, but I cut that out of there. I did go ahead on the silver matte. I did go ahead and adhere down my the dot for the eye. Somebody let us know in the chat the official word for that, because I didn't want to lose it. And then for the shadow, I use vellum because you know that I love vellum. You can still see some of the pattern paper behind it. So now I just want to put this together. Oh, sorry. Let's start with my. And again, because I'm going to try to be not very generous with the adhesive, just because I don't want it smushing out all over the place onto my pretty silver. Try to get that centered on there without having to move it too much. Oops, I'm going to sit that block on there for 30 seconds. A tittle. Kristen says a tittle. Kristen, I think you are right. I wanted to say a tilde, but I knew that that was something completely different. I want to let that dry, and then I want to tell you about another special live video that I have coming up this week. Now, if you're on my email list, you already saw it. And if you get notices from my channel, you might have already seen it. But my friend Karen of Karen's Crafting Company and I, on Friday at 9:30, we're getting together to craft with the color cube. We both love it so much and use it often that we thought, why not team up? Because I think you guys also enjoy the color cube, and you are going to help us decide live which color cube both of us will be using, but we'll be using it in different ways. So you can see how that same card can be used for different crafts. I have an idea of what I'm doing. I think I'm going to do some stenciling. And I think Karen told me, oh, she had thought about doing stenciling too, but we'll see what ends up happening, right? So I hope you'll join us. You can go to my channel and set a reminder. Love to see you there. Ruth, welcome. So glad you made it to Crafty Tuesday. Catherine says that sounds like fun. I hope it will be. I hope it will be. All right, let me check for questions. Don't forget, if you have a question for me, either tag me or put like Crafty Al, Alicia, or question all in caps and in front of your message. That way, when I look up, it's easy for me to see, because right now I just kind of see like the last 5 messages or so that you guys send. Now that the silvery blue one is dry, I'm going to add adhesive to the back of the silver mat and put that on the vellum shadow. And then I can send, or if the winner chooses this, whoever wins a card today, you'll get to choose which one you want. So this, though, could, be sent for any occasion. Take care, Elisa. Welcome. So glad you're here. Now, I think I am just going to put it flat down onto here so I don't have to try to hide foam adhesive behind this. I do have some foam that I could hide it, but I think I'm going to have the H in the center and kind of have my high down in the bottom right. Let me know in the chat if you have been inspired to get some color cubes of your own. I do know that many of you have told me you have. I am definitely glad that I made the investment, and it is an investment. And we'll let that dry. While I get a drink and pause to look for questions. All right. If you are just joining us, welcome. I just finished my first card for my Crafty Tuesday, and we're getting ready to make the next one. And on this next one is when you get to help me decide the colors. So you're just right in time if you're getting here. I think for the next card, I'm going to use that same high sentiment just because it's out. But here we go. Now, normally, I like to add some bling, but I think with all that silver foil, we can just stop right here. So really, that was pretty quick, you guys. If you have leftover cardstock scraps or pattern paper scraps, this is a great way to use those up. Oh, I love this from Susan. Susan said, I inspired her to get color cubes, and now she can't imagine card making without them. I love that, Susan. So it was definitely a good investment for you as well. That is awesome. All right. Now, I should have probably prepped this earlier for my poll, but so again, if you're on my email list, you have already seen these, or if you are on the Facebook group. But these are the 3 cards I chose yesterday at random for possibilities for today. So I'm going to put up an official poll over in the chat here in just a minute, but we are calling these A, B, and C. So take a look at those, see which one you think is your favorite, and I will get the poll ready while you think about that. Maybe. Oh, it was not letting me type in a letter. Or C. So be thinking because the poll is almost ready. All right, guys, I'm going to give you 2 minutes to let me know if you would like to see me craft with A, B, or C today. And then on my email list, I ask them, reply back and let me know which is your favorite card. So I'm curious to see if the same one will win. So get your votes in there. Make sure that you don't type it into the chat, ladies. Go ahead and there's a poll at the top. That is how I can count those up. I used to try and like do a poll and then like count them live. It doesn't happen. I can't pay well enough attention. So make sure to vote up there in the poll. And yes, you know what? Instead of some water, I'm gonna have a little bit of Diet Coke, a little bit of caffeine. I didn't get to sleep until like 2:30 this morning, so I definitely need some caffeine since I had to set my alarm. Hello, T. Thanks for being here quietly watching. Yes, Tammy, I know sometimes it's hard to pick between 2, but try to pick your most favorite. And we have about 30 seconds left, and then I'll have to try to gather some supplies. To make this next one. Welcome, Suzette. My daughter and my husband are fans of Coke Zero. I don't like the taste, but they do enjoy it. Now, oh, that was a timer. I do like cherry Coke Zero. The cherry must mask whatever the flavor of the Coke Zero is. I do like that. All right, so the timer has went off, so the poll needs closed. So here we go. Are we ready? Let me end poll. with 46% of the vote, card number C has won. And that was followed by 34% with card A. And you guys, that it pretty much exactly matches what happened for the email response. I don't think I had enough response on Facebook to really get a good idea, but that is how it kind of went on email. So now, you know what I do is I bring in my color ring, and these are all the Tailored Expressions cardstocks I have. And I'm going to do my best to match these colors up. I think this one up here is it's a dark purple. You might not be able to tell it. Well, they call it eggplant. I have a cardstock called eggplant, but I think it's a little too bright. So I'm going to go with Huckleberry for that top one. And all I'm going to do, since normally I would pull in my inks so I could remember what I chose, but since I won't be using inks today, I'm just going to pull in my paper holders, which I'll zoom out so you can see it here, not too far. I keep my cardstock in these little project folders, and I just labeled them with the name, and I keep these in alphabetical order, and my ring of cardstock in color order. Just easier for me, for my mind, how to do that. So set these off to the side. Huckleberry, this next one, I think, you guys, it's going to be my favorite color. Can you tell me? Tell me in the chat. I keep getting over there. In the chat, let me know what you think the next color I'm going to choose is. If you've been here long, I've talked about one of my favorite inks from Tailored Expressions. So let me know what you think. Susan says, Alicia, would you share the link for your paper holders? I will. I will write that down to add after the live. I didn't really know I'd be sharing them on screen. I would have added it. So check out the description box this afternoon, because I'll probably be eating once we get off here. All right, what do we got? Kath, we had a watermelon. Here we go. Wine. Paula, wine, but can't remember the other name. Oh, Susan got it. Mulled wine. Yes. For the next one, I am going to choose mulled wine. Again, just have that. You guys know me so well. All right. Now, as I'm flipping through here, I see that Peaches and Cream is probably the closest I have to number 4. So I'm going to skip this one for now and go down here. Peaches and Cream. Oh, and here I think Candy Corn will be that one. And now we need this one. And that might be a little hard to match. Probably won't have anything perfect. Well, I think Guava is pretty close. All right. The Orange Oliver says that they just received the die yesterday and the color cubes last week. Yes, yay! You can try to recreate your own little weaving thing. That is awesome. All right, now I don't know if I can go back. So I have my color palette here. And, you know, sometimes I think, I don't think I'm going to like these together. But you know what, guys? I already kind of like it. If you like this color combo, give me like a high five or a drum roll or a thumbs up over there in that live chat. All right. Now, in front of my cardstock holder, I always put the scraps. You know, buying expensive cardstock, you know, like from Gina K or Tailored Expressions is newer to me. I would just get like packages of it from Michael's or, you know, Hobby Lobby when it was on sale. So I make sure when I buy this heavier weight, more expensive cardstock that I try to keep every last little bit of it. Let me know if that's you too over in the chat. So, I do have this scrap, but I don't think there's enough up here for me to make any strips. So I'm going to pull out this one. There we go. I think for this one I'll pull, oh no, I definitely shouldn't pull out that. Oh, darn it, that has a little bit of a smudge on it. I must have got my inky fingers on there, so I'll have to pull out a bigger piece. And I got lots of mulled wine scraps because I use that often. And I think instead of pulling Huckleberry for my strips, I am going to use this for the card base and for my weaving frame. So I'm going to bring in my die cutter and we will use the weaving die on this. So here's what it looks like. And this is nice thick cardstock, so I won't have to worry about making two so it's sturdy. And whenever I use a die that has a straight edge, I always try to angle it as it's going into my die cutter just to make it a little bit easier to rotate through. I see lots of you love to keep your scraps too. Yes. And this will go back in my scrap thing, but I won't make you wait for that. Now, I don't think I'll be using any of these. I think I'm just going to weave with the other colors, but definitely going to keep these for another project. Barbara said she has been using the tip of not putting the die in straight. Great tip. Glad that is helpful. I don't know where I heard that from. I definitely didn't come up with that on my own, but I've done it for a while. I can't remember where I found that from. Now, what I'm going to do is bring back in my scraps. And I'm going to go ahead and just cut these. You know what? I'm going to leave it at the length. I was going to cut it to 5 inches wide, but I'm just going to leave it at the length. And I am going to cut pieces that are 1/4 of an inch wide. I'm going to be using the measurement to the left of my cut line, and that way I can just keep pushing it from right to left. And I have no idea how many of these I need. So for now, because again, I'm not going to fill up the entire card front. I think for now, I'm just going to do 3 of each and we'll see how that works out, you guys. I got into paper weaving because it was something we did at Stamp Joy. So if you watch my sister and I recap that and do a live, that is, where I got the idea to buy the die and use it. And Tailored Expressions does sell dies that cut strips in different widths. So if you want definitely uniform strips, you might want to go that way. For me, I'm just going to try to use the same mark on my trimmer for these just because I think it's a little quicker. And my scraps are a little bit smaller than what the TE strips are. And guys, I think I might have changed my mind. I want to see how the insides of these compare. Okay, they're a little bit bigger. I am going... Okay, I have to cut up a piece of full cardstock for the card base. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this in half at 4 1/4 by 11. Set this aside for the card base. And I'm going to go ahead, you guys, and cut this to 5 inches wide. And I'm going to do 2 strips of this. I know that this was a big piece to only get 2 strips, but nothing else I had worked. And I think that this color will just make a nice cap for the beginning and end of my weaving. Again, weaving is something, you know, you don't even have to use uniform strips. Like I'm using, you know, all the same width, but you could definitely vary those. And one of the, oh no, that was it. That wasn't a weaving card that we did. You know, you don't have to use all 1/4 inch strips. Now I want to try to figure out how I want my weaving to go, which I think I'm just going to go in the same order as this, maybe. Okay. So now I have to think. I'm going to go ahead and just start with this. And for now, I'm just going to kind of put my weaving in the center of my area. This is where I have to stop and think. And then I'm going to go put 2 oranges. I think I'm going to do one end cap of the, oh goodness, what did we pick of that? The Huckleberry. And then I'm going to weave 2 of the other colors. And again, for right now, you don't have to put these right up against each other if you don't want to. I'm going to do all the weaving and then I'll figure out where I want the strips to go on here. I might even angle it, you guys. I haven't tried that yet, where you like angle the strips. We might do that. Don't forget, if you have a question or comment for me, to tag me or do the all caps thing. I see you guys are over there busy chatting. I love that. But I have missed quite a few messages. I do go back and read them after the live. But if you need my attention, please let me know. Wanted to point this. Doreen says that is so cool. I may even have that die. Awesome. Yes. You know, this is like this die from TE. It is older, but they just used it for the Stamp Joy. So it's kind of been renewed and other companies sell it. Shani, I hope, or maybe Shani, her weaving die or their weaving die just came. Love the idea of using the color cube with it. Awesome. Have fun with yours. Now, Tailored Expressions is sold out, but I do have a link below to one by, I think, like I said, I think it's Hero Arts that is similar, that would work just like this, that you could look into. Maybe, like, I called my local scrapbook store yesterday to see if she had it in stock, because I know that she had used it before, but unfortunately it was out of stock, because I was actually going to go get the My Favorite or the Hero Arts one so I could kind of show you how it worked. And again, maybe it is my favorite things. I don't know. Somebody help me out. What link do I have down there in the description box? I prepped it yesterday and cannot remember. Okay. So yeah, I think I'm gonna angle it just a little bit, but I do want to try to get even top and bottom. So I'm gonna move everything down. And as long as it's not full, moving these is pretty easy. The fuller that you get with your weaving, the tighter it's going to be. Just a little bit further. And make sure to stay to the end so you can be entered to win one of my cards. So here we go. I'm going to stop there. Oh, here we go. Paula says, it says Hero Arts. Thank you, Paula, for checking for me. Welcome, Vicky. So glad you're better late than never, right? And you're still here in time to win a card. Susan has one here. For those of us without the die, would you recommend taping the vertical strips to your work surface to make weaving easier? I was thinking about this yesterday, Susan. I almost think what I would do is go ahead and create a piece of 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, like a solid background, and then I would just like tape the top of the strips to it just coming this way. So it would kind of look like this, you know, but you wouldn't have the bottom. But yeah, then you would, you know, not tape them, glue them, you know, adhere them every so often and then weave it. Because yes, you can definitely do this on your own without a die. And if anybody else has any ideas for her, definitely put those in the chat. All right. Now, going to have to do the same thing here where I take my adhesive, lift up the cardstock strips. A little bit harder to lift up since it is cardstock and not the pattern paper. Sorry, there we go. So I'm just going to put a dot under this. And I want this first one, I'm actually going to adhere both sides and let that dry just so that I can bump the next strips up to it and make sure everything stays nice and tight and at the same angle. Donna, my card got to her. Awesome, Donna. All right. So now I'm just going to make sure that for the remaining ones that they're bumped right up against the previous one that I've glued down. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and the angle was a little bit different, so I'm going to go ahead and bump those all now. Yes, very good idea. And I have made friendship bracelets. When I was little, I safety pinned them to my jeans while I was making them. Anybody else safety pin them? And Catherine wants to know the color cubes. Can I explain them to some of our new people? You know what? Let me get this glued, and then while it's drying, I will show you my color cubes. Good idea, Catherine. Welcome, Paula. Glad you didn't miss the live, and you're just in time that once this card is done, I will be giving one away. So the winner today gets to pick which card they want. Yeah, this is slightly tedious, but at least the cards were simpler this week. The past few times I have maybe bitten off more than I could chew. Now just flip it over, and then same thing for the back of the frame. And if you are just getting here, this is the card that viewers voted on for me to use today to get my color palette, which I'll show you the boxes here in a minute. If only I could play some fun music while I was gluing these. But then my video would get taken down for copyright, and we don't want that. So I guess you could all sing or put on some music there where you're watching from. Keep putting my bottle straight back up, and while I'm still using it, I shouldn't, to kind of, that way the glue will kind of stay toward the top. One more to glue, you guys. I don't know if I'm talented, but that is a good idea. All right. Now I'm going to put a couple blocks at the end of this, and I'll set it to the side, and then I'll tell you about the color cubes. So here is what the color cubes come in. You can buy one box, and I believe it is $40. If you get both boxes, it is, I think, $67. I bought the whole shebang. I have digital versions of this. I have the colored pencil and marker conversions for the colors. But honestly, if I could only buy one thing, it would just be these two boxes, because I have not looked at the digital stuff since the weekend that I ordered it. But I know that some of you love that, so you can, match it up to your markers and your colored pencils. So inside each of these are 250 color cube cards. Each one has a different picture with a different color combo, and they're all numbered. So what I like to do, like this one is 1 through 250. This is 251 through 500. I like to use random number generators. And like for today, I picked out 3, and then viewers voted on the final one. And I just like to force myself to use it. Sometimes I would have never picked those colors, and I end up loving the results. In fact, I think I've loved every result from a color cube card. So that's what color cubes are. They they're by Sarah Renae Clark, and she's Australian, but she does have distributors, I believe, in the UK and then here in the US. So you don't necessarily have to have these heavy boxes shipped from Australia. So if you want to check out more about these, I do have links in the description box. And I think maybe Nightbot in the chat has been sharing a link. So you can check that out and see what you think, if it's something for you. And here I just saw this. Danny says, coming soon, the new hit single from Crafty Owl, As the Glue Dries. Well, Danny's got the title, so now I better put something together, right? All right. Welcome. My face is now bigger to those of you who have just popped in recently. I need to take a little water break. And we need to get our card finished so we can do the live giveaway. So I think everything's had time to dry. So there's our finished look at that. And I'm going to make oh no, before I can make the card base, we need to cut off our excess. So once again, bringing in my non-stick scissors. And I'm just going to try to keep right along the edge of this. And I guess then, if you do this a lot, you'll have some confetti that you can use for things. Oh, I'm definitely going to have to go back in on this one. I did not get close to the cardstock. I find sometimes I have to flip it over and do the opposite side too to kind of see where I missed. Just try to get it as close as you can to that frame. Now, you know what you could probably do and might be easier? Put the thing in your trimmer. I didn't even think of that. But if you put it in there, that might be a little bit easier. And if all else fails, if you have ink pads that match your frame, you could always ink the edges. But you know what? One of my mom's favorite sayings was, it's a craft, it doesn't have to be perfect. So I'm going to go with that. Let's see. Kathy says, I as in me, have mentioned that I use Scotch removable tape. Where do you purchase yours? I used to be able to find it in stores, but not so much anymore. Kathy, I get mine from Amazon. And let me get it out. So yes, I used to be able to go, lots of places, like Michael's or office supply stores, and get it where it came in a dispenser, like the little cardboard one on the back. But I can't find those anymore either. So I get these refill rolls come in boxes on Amazon. And then I just bought, actually, I think my sister gave me this, just a regular old tape dispenser to put it in. I do label it just so I don't think that this is really going to hold anything together. I might have a link in the product list below. If I don't, I'll add that later. Because yes, this is very good for die cutting and holding things in place temporarily. Bye, Danny. Chat with you later. And Catherine, that is one of my favorite theme songs. Does anybody else here watch Jeopardy every night? I love to watch it and play along. I shout out the answers, whether I really know them or not. I would be the person, you have some people who just like calmly press that buzzer on Jeopardy, and some are over there like pounding on that. The second one would be me. And I would answer whether I really thought I knew it or not. Like I'd probably be negative like 10,000 just because I would try on everything. All right, let's get our card base ready. So I have that piece. Now, TE cardstock is pretty thick, but you could definitely go ahead and just fold this in half if you wanted to. But I am going to help it along by using my score buddy to put a little score in there. I usually go over the line like 2 or 3 times. This cardstock seems a little bit extra heavy, so I'm going to do that a few times. And then I like to fold it so the bump goes in. Line up the bottoms, and then use the bone folder to reinforce that fold. Catherine, I would definitely have fun on Jeopardy. And who knows, I like some nights I do really good, but then other times it's like geography and history, and those are not my jam. When my sister was visiting, we played some games, and one thing we got out was Trivial Pursuit, and we had like the 20th anniversary edition, which was still like 20 years old, and none of us knew anything. But man, when I got like some obscure thing that I knew, I was so excited. Celebrity Jeopardy Crafty Edition. Now that would be me. I agree, Kristen. Not sure I would be considered a crafty celebrity, but hey, I'd give it a go, right? Give me just a second, guys. All right. Now this is just going to go straight down onto my card front. So this will have kind of a, ooh, you know what? I think this is going to be too thick to use on the frame. So I'm going to bring back in my liquid glue. For the frame at least. This will also to give me some wiggle room to get it nice and straight. Put a little on each of these. I was going to use my ATG behind the weaving, but I decided since I had my Barely Art out, I would just use that. And now let's get this centered on here as best as we can, or as best as I can, right? I wish you guys were here to help me, especially when I start to do crazy things that I have to hit the oops button for. All right. Give that time to dry. And now I have to think about the sentiment, which again, I'm going to use the same die just to keep it nice and easy. But what colors do we use? Oh my goodness. Guys, I know that I can't take a poll because I wouldn't even know what to do, but give me your ideas on the colors I should use for the word, the matte, and the shadow. And if you're coming in late, this is what it looks like. It's a 3-layer word die. So I had the blue letters, a silver matte, and then a vellum shadow. Give me some ideas over in the chat. And I'll kind of use the one that grabs my eye. You know, like I don't know what colors to do it. Okay, I'm watching them as they come in. Okay, definitely we'll do the vellum shadow. I was kind of thinking, and I think it was actually the first recommendation was kind of what I was thinking. Let me try to find that. Catherine says vellum purple, then the lightest color on top. That is kind of what I had in my mind, and some of you are suggesting similar ones. So I think I'm going to go with that. So we'll do the peaches and cream word. Bring in the smallest scrap possible. So we'll do the peaches and cream word. And then the Huckleberry border and a vellum shadow, which, man, I thought I had some vellum right here. Yes, I do. And vellum. Okay, we're going to go with that. So, alrighty, going to use that same Crafty Meraki high die set. And this is the shadow, so I get out this die. And when I have a big piece like this, I just like to kind of cut some off around it. Oops. And then the matte, which is just a slight border, will be out of the Huckleberry, which it's a newer color and I keep forgetting the name, but it is Huckleberry that we chose. And then while this high is drying, I think that we'll go ahead and pick the winner of the card today, because that always takes a few minutes. Okay, what did I do with my vellum? Like, oh my goodness, you guys, I have this, but I can't find my actual word. Does anybody see where that went? Oh my goodness. Shout out in the chat if you saw where I actually put the vellum shadow at instead of the negative. Am I gonna have to recut that? Please, I know that I'm not the only one who does this, that you seriously just have something in your hand and then it's gone. Oh my goodness. Is it stuck in the... Oh wait, hold up. It's under the Sizzix. Ah, thank you. Thank you guys. Oh my gosh. Okay. Thanks. See, I'm so glad I have you guys here. You help me find things fast like that. And then finally, I'm going to have the word itself out of the peaches and cream. I'm so glad that I'm not alone. And this isn't the first time even on live that I've had to ask for help finding stuff. I'm so glad that you guys are here. Okay, I do not want to, well, lose the word, but especially not the tittle, which we discussed. We figured out that word earlier. Put that down here safely. I'm just going to move this out of the way, because I think we should be done with that. Bring in my jewel picker for the tittle here. And then I'm going to put the dot of glue on the mat, or on the border one. And then bring this to that and try to get it centered. But again, because it's liquid glue, I got a little bit of wiggle time. Oops. Okay, that. I think I need to turn this. All right, let's try it over. I put it, it's kind of more of an oval, not like a circle dot, and I definitely put it on there the wrong way. Oh, now that's glued to my desk, so it won't pick up with that anymore. All right. And with the back of my jewel picker, I'm just going to press that down. And now the other one should go a little bit easier since they're not so little and fussy. And again, before I press it down hard, I try to see if I can get everything centered. Oh, Susan says she's lost so many things. She now uses small containers to place everything. Over the weekend, scrapbook.com had those little like kind of frosted trays. They had a set that was like 70% off, and I have been eyeing them for months. I broke down, and I'm looking forward to having my own little trays where I can kind of keep stuff organized. Hopefully they'll be coming soon. But I bet a lot of people ordered them, so they might be behind on shipping too. Did anybody else get those plastic trays over the weekend? Sorry, I get a little quiet when I have to get like fiddly like this. Nancy's are on their way. Yeah, I haven't got a notice that mine's shipped. So hopefully soon. Susan shipped yesterday. Hopefully mine are coming. Kathy, they aren't on the 70% off, and actually now a lot of the options are sold out. But when I mentioned, like, I did some posts on my community tab, people said that they're usually on sale all the time. It's just not quite that deep of discount. So if you go to scrapbook.com, which, hey, if you want to use my link at the bottom of the description box, I would love that. You can go and find those trays, and then if the size you want is out of stock, you can have them notify you when it comes back in stock. Okay, guys. Lori says she's extremely late to the game. Loving what she's seeing. Great. You are coming in on the second card, which viewers helped me pick the color combo. And we're just finishing up. So really, you're right in time. You can go back and watch the replay of the beginning later if you want. And I'm going to get this on my card. And then we're going to give it away. You guys, I think I'm going to go with kind of like the same thing. What do you think in the lower right there? I think I'm going to go with the same. Yeah. Sometimes that's the hardest part, figuring out how to end the card. And again, because it's kind of skinny, I'm just going to go ahead and adhere this flat down to the card. You could definitely pop it up if you wanted. I am trying to leave my adhesive behind where the vellum is, but this vellum is a little bit thicker, so it's a little more forgiving if some squishes out. Let's see. All right, you guys. Yes, we did it. We made 2 cards together. Thanks as always for being here to help me make decisions. You know, just chat with me, chat with the other viewers while I'm crafting. I always have a great time, and I hope that you do too. If you are enjoying today's live stream, please give it your stamp of approval by clicking on that thumbs up button, maybe sharing it with a crafty friend who might like it. We have 90 people watching and 80 likes. Could we get it to 90? Do you think that's something that we could do? Could everybody give this video a thumbs up? That might be a feat, but I don't know. You guys are pretty kind that you might give me that thumbs up. Okay, you guys, let's take a look at our finished cards. So here is what we have. You guys, you did it. We are over 90 likes. So you know what? I'm going to give you a sneak preview of tomorrow's card. All right. Thank you so much. But in front of me are the 2 cards we made today. That's probably good enough. So the first one, if you came in late, I used pattern paper in the weaving die, and I did a silver metallic frame because of the silver foil on the pattern paper. And yeah, just weaved that with some wider strips. And then for the second card, live viewers helped me pick from 3 color cube cards. And then I got the cardstock out, and here's the card I made from that. I did leave them both nice and flat. These will be easy to mail. You won't have to have an extra stamp, or, you know, sometimes lately it seems like if I send anything more than like a flat card, like it has to go for package. It is crazy. I think my post office is a little bit picky. Like seriously, I go there, I have just what I think is a regular card, maybe with some foam tape, and then it's $5.50 to mail. I find other things to do. All right, so let's go ahead and oh wait. You know what? I'm going to show you this card. I'm going to show you the card from tomorrow. It is for the Oh So Inspired collaboration. And it's where I had the strips for today's card. It's leftovers from yesterday. Well, you'll see the inspiration piece tomorrow, so make sure you watch it. But here is the card that I made tomorrow for tomorrow's video. So I didn't do weaving, but I did use, you know, scrappy strips. And here is a card I created. Lots of shine and shimmer. So I hope that you'll come back tomorrow and watch that video. If you are coming in late, another thing I want to show you on Tailored Expressions today, I'm up on their channel, and you guys know I love a rainbow. So when I got this assignment, I was thrilled. But they have the Sunshine and Rainbows release. And I got to work with one of the new Rainbow Bright dies. And I made 5 card fronts and turned them in to 6 cards. So I have a link to this video down in the description box. If you would please go check it out, watch the whole thing, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment in the comment section, because that's how they know that you like seeing me create for them. And I would really pretty please love to stay on the team. So if you'll go watch that video and leave it some love, I would love that. Okay, now, should we pick a winner? Okay, so if you have been here for my giveaways before, in here in just a minute, a word is going to pop up on the screen. It's actually a hashtag, and you're going to type that one time into the chat box, and that will get you entered to win one of today's cards. The winner will get to choose which one they want, but to claim that card, and this is super important, I have a form really toward the bottom of the description box below that is for the winner of today's card. So if you are the winner, you are going to want to fill that out as soon as possible, because I don't want you to forget and then not get the card that you won. So again, only the winner should be filling out that form, which, you know what, guys? I think I forgot to turn that form on. I'm going to go check that right now, because I would hate for you to go try to, oh, okay. I got that turned back on. That was close. I would hate for you to go there to claim it, and then the form would be turned off. So you're going to type that hashtag in there one time. It should look exactly like it does on screen. It has to have the hashtag, no spaces, spelled like that. Now, if you do type it in and you notice, oh no, I put a space in there, or oh no, I left out a letter, retype it, get your entry. But what you don't need to do is type it in like 10 times, because you still only get that one entry, okay? So let me get that up on screen. To win today's card, you are going to type hashtag weaving into the chat. I'm going to give you 2 minutes to get that in. So hashtag WEAVING. So type that in. I'll give you a couple minutes. As the chat slows down, if you have any final questions for me, that is a good time to put those over there again as the chat slows down, because it will be a little busy here, but that way I can answer those before I go. Just checking it looks like everybody's got theirs in correctly so far. Again, make sure there are no spaces and it's spelled like it shows on screen. Got about another minute to get that in. This is a good time for me to remind you, if you ever come into one of my lives late, especially one where I'm going to be giving like a card away at the end, because it is a timed thing, you'll either want to just go ahead and skip to where we're live or watch it at like 2 times speed if you can catch up, just so you don't miss out on getting into the giveaway. All right, 30 seconds, guys. And if you haven't tried weaving yet, and you might, after you saw today's live, type "gonna try it" in the chat. Let me know if you're gonna give it a shot. Oh, you know what that means. That is my 2-minute timer. So let me go over and kind of make sure the entries have stopped. Good. Justine's gonna try it, or Doreen is, and oh my goodness, they flew by. And Justine, love it, love it, love it. Great, great. Yay, so glad. Let's use this stuff we have. And you know, if you don't want to buy that die, you know what? Use what you have and you can paper weave without it. Let's go ahead though and find out who today's winner is. The winner will need to be here still live, and you'll need to let me know which card you want. All right. And then I'm going to write your name in that card, and then you'll fill out that form. Again, it's at the bottom of the description box. So you'll fill that out. And let's go ahead and pick a winner. Even if you don't see your name on screen, I do have 62 entries. So you are in there. It does, oh, I had a winner before I could even finish my thought. Congratulations, Carmen. Carmen, please just go ahead and claim it. I know I have your address, but that way I don't forget to send it to you. Yay. And thank you to everybody who was here and entered to win. As I always say, I wish I had 62 cards to give out to all of you. If you do like to receive mail from me, my paper trimmer level members, which Carmen is one of them, I send them something in the mail each month. So it's usually a card. This month it's a little different. So that will be going out soon. I love that you're congratulating Carmen. I love that. Lift each other up. I did see one question. Let me scroll up. Okay. Question: the card you made for TE, does she allow you to share the same video on your channel too? Simon says Stamp lets them show the videos on the creator's YouTube channel. No, part of my contract is I cannot share that video on my channel. But I can create other stuff with them. And I think what I want to do, you guys, I think I want to kind of do the same thing where I pull a color cube card, and then it won't necessarily be a traditional rainbow, but it will still have that same look. So let me know if maybe next Tuesday, maybe we could do that. All right, get in those last minute questions. Thanks, Susan, for being here. Have fun at work. All right. Just looking for some questions, guys. And then what time is it? 11 o'clock. Hey, today was actually pretty quick. I think we've been going like 2.5 hours sometimes lately. So hour and a half bonus. All right. And if you do want to check out the Sunshine and Rainbows release, please, I would love it if you would use my affiliate link in this video. If you use the link from the TE video, then they get the credit for it. I mean, they don't really get their own money, but you know what I'm saying. It is their links. Okay, you guys. Well, I don't see any final questions. Oh, here, Doreen said her first visit, she will definitely be back. Is that to a live, Doreen? Because you're a channel member, so hopefully it wasn't your first visit to my channel, but glad that you were here. And yes, again, if you haven't already given the video your stamp of approval, I'd appreciate a thumbs up on your way out. Until my next video, guys, which is tomorrow's Oh So Inspired, I hope that you all are having a crafty day. Bye-bye.